Unit 5, Lesson 2, Angles and Arcs. The objectives of this lesson are to understand the relationship between angle measures and the measure of the intercepted arc. So what's the relationship between the arcs and the angles? Here I know that these two angles must be the same. So this value here will also be x. So I can think of this as the sum of the angles is equal to the sum of the arcs. Or 2 times the angle measure is equal to the sum of the arcs. Let's look at an example. Here, I know that I have these two angles that look at these two arcs. So I'm going to say that 2x is equal to 80 plus 20. 2x is equal to 100, or x is equal to 50. Let's look at y. I have these two arcs now. Okay, so I'm going to say that 2y is equal to 120 plus 150. 2y is equal to 270, or y is equal to 135. In this next example, these are the arcs that I'm given. So I'm able to find these angles in here. I can say that 90 plus 30 is equal to 2, and I'll call this z. 90 and 30 is 120. So that would make our z equal to 60. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the measure of its linear pair. So I'm going to say that x plus 60 is equal to 180. I would find that x is equal to 120, and that's the answer to this question. In this next one, I'm looking for the measure of an arc. So I'm going to fill out the work the same way that I have in the past. Okay, so I'm going to say that y plus 150, the sum of the arcs, is equal to 2 times 110. Y plus 150 is equal to 220. Y is equal to 70. So I write out the equation the same way, but now y is an arc. Okay, let's look at this next one. Again, I have one on an arc. So I'm going to say that x plus 60 is equal to 2 times 40. X plus 60 is equal to 80. So I know x must be 20. Here, I have my arcs, and I can take their sum. Call this h, and I'll get 2h. So h would be equal to 40, but that doesn't help me find y. So again, I have this linear pair relationship. So I'm going to say that 40 plus y is equal to 180. And I know that y then must be 140. In this next one, I'm going to use this inscribed angle to determine the value of x. I know that I have to take the inscribed angle and double it to get x. So x is equal to 120. Now, in order to get y, I would look at my arcs and I would determine that 40 plus 120 is equal to 2y. Well, 40 and 120 together is 160. So y is equal to 80. This problem used inscribed angles with our arcs. Sometimes you'll find a combination of these different circle properties in various problems. Another relationship we want to talk about is when the intersection of these two is outside of the circle. So we just dealt with it when it was inside the circle. When it's outside, it's very similar, except I'm going to subtract the arcs, and that will be equal to 2 times the angle measure. So I'll do big minus little equals 2 times the angle. Let's look at some examples. Okay. So the first arc minus the second arc is equal to 2 times the angle. So 100 minus 40 is 60. That's equal to 2x. So x would be equal to 30. I have this arc out here. And I'm just going to say that my bigger arc, which is w, minus my smaller arc, which is 20, is equal to 2 times 40. So w minus 20 is equal to 80. That gives me that w is equal to 100. For this problem, I can look at my central angle, and that will tell me that this arc is 120. I know this inside arc is 30. So I know that my bigger arc, 120, minus my smaller arc, 30, is equal to 2 times the angle. You get 90 is equal to 2 times that angle. So the angle would be 45. Here I know that I have a 220 degree arc, but I don't see the other arc. In this case, I know all the degrees in a circle are 360, so I would say that 360 minus 220 is equal to 140. That would tell me that this arc down here is equal to 140. So now I can just treat this like any other problem. 220 minus 140 is equal to 2 times the angle y. 220 minus 140 would give me 80. And then I'd be able to find that the angle is equal to 40. All right, that's it for this set of notes. If you have any questions, please ask me next class. I'd be happy to answer them. We will recap and complete an activity on these. Thanks.